The Matrix. Do you want the truth? Part 3 of 3. In the second part of the video, The Matrix. Do you want the truth? We come to the conclusion that it's a waste of time trying to convince someone of the truth if they're not receptive. Furthermore, many are so desperately dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. Hola, from Colombia. With the present great world confusion, I wish to do my part to accelerate the evolution of human consciousness. Please help by subscribing and sharing these videos. Thank you. Now we look at a character named Oracle. The Oracle is a computer program who is very aware of the world's illusory nature and seems to enjoy it. She clearly shows the light and the smell of cookies, smokes cigarettes, loves sweets, and the sunset. We see the same thing happening with the Merovingian, a character from the sequel, The Matrix Reloaded, who is passionate about the French language and loves beautiful women and serving them dessert with a happy ending. Of course, since these characters are both software, these pleasures could be part of their programming. However, they show the human ability to treat an illusion as if it were real. There is a philosophical term for this phenomenon, namely suspension of disbelief. The suspension of disbelief is the intentional avoidance of skepticism, critical thinking, and logic when faced with something unreal like a work of fiction. For ages, human beings have enthusiastically consumed illusions as entertainment, from cinemas and theater performances to the puppet shows of the past. Likewise, Plato's character can still choose to act as if the silhouettes in the cave are real entities, temporarily suspending his disbelief in exchange for enjoyment at having a good time with his old, unenlightened friends. When it comes to the Matrix, the possibilities regarding the enjoyment of fakery are endless. Unlike the illusionists in Plato's cave, the Matrix produces an illusion that we can consider better than reality. We can also see this with current technology. The way that people can immerse themselves in a video game is almost as if they are living a second life, a mostly more enjoyable and rewarding existence. But the objects that appear on the screen are not real, but mere projections. To enjoy them as if they were real, it is necessary to temporarily suspend that truth. Likewise, characters like Neo and Trinity could delight in the Matrix, perhaps by enjoying a romantic dinner and an evening walk along the River Seine in Paris. Anyhow, humans seem to be able to temporarily accept and appreciate the lie when it suits them. Do we actually want the truth? If asked, most people will probably answer yes to this question. But when exploring Plato's allegory and the Matrix, we discovered that the human relationship with truth is not that simple. In some cases, we welcome the truth. In other cases, we hide from it, temporarily suspend it, reject it, and even wish to forget the truth if we had that option. One of the most striking examples is the character Cypher. Both Plato's work and the Matrix show people's disdain for a truth that threatens their reality. We tend to attach to the familiar, the comfortable, the significant, and are sometimes willing to defend it with our lives. When it comes to the latter, we just have to look at how people are willing to die for their religions and political ideologies. So again, do we want the truth? The answer seems to be, it depends. We tend to handle the facts selectively, since the truth appears in many different forms, with different magnitudes. The truth can elevate us, it can leave us indifferent, but it can make us depressed and miserable. For example, in Plato's allegory, learning the truth is practically without downsides. The only downside is the hostility of those in the cave. But other than that, it's pretty evident that Plato's truth leads to something better and would uplift just about anyone. But in the Matrix, the truth is less pleasant. However, the effect that the truth has on us does not necessarily depend on the truth itself. It also depends on the person who receives it. In the case of Neo and Morpheus, the state of the world gave them meaning and legitimized the battle they were waging as liberators of humanity, which is quite an incredible goal to have in life. On the other hand, Cypher pokes fun at that goal, showing his cynicism and meaninglessness that he found in his existence. People tend to adopt surrogate truth to cover up a painful reality. By contrast, others love painful realities, but these are often instrumental to their already dark worldview. People in both camps also tend to ignore facts that oppose how they want to see the world. In many, if not most cases, they share their worldview with like-minded people. Sharing a certain truth, regardless of whether it is true, has benefits. Again, look at religious groups, political movements, and even flat earth society. Being part of these groups can provide people with purpose and social connections. In the Matrix, for example, we can see how the belief in the One unites Morpheus with his people. The downside is that taking opposing views as a member, even if they were true, could lead to other members ostracizing you. And this is where the dark side of suspension of belief comes in. Some, if not many, are willing to turn a blind eye to the truth, not only for innocent enjoyment, but also for convenience. For example, someone keeps subscribing to a false belief against their better judgment, just to belong or out of fear of being ostracized. Still, people seem quite opportunistic when it comes to the truth. We want a truth, not necessarily the truth. We want a reality, not necessarily the reality. But the truth and the lie often have something in common. They both appear as stories. So could it be that fundamentally we don't want the truth, but a story? A story to believe in, identify with, share with others, dwell on, and, perhaps most importantly, to provide us with a sense of meaning and belonging. Hola! The insanity continues to intensify, and there is no end in sight. Please consider joining us in our consciousness community at the edge of the town of Popayan in southern Colombia. I believe that now many individuals are ready to leave their home country, but just don't know where to start. There is absolutely nowhere to hide. Having said that, here in Popayan, there is good food growth throughout the year. The temperate mountain climate is 23 to 26 degrees Celsius during the day and 15 to 18 degrees Celsius at night. And it is like this all year round, which makes everyday life very comfortable here. Please share this information with your friends and loved ones. Uprooting yourself is certainly not for everyone. I'm in a position to make this challenging process just a little bit easier. There's a guest house for a long-term stay while you are looking for a property of your own. Pets are welcome, and there is internet. The airport, bus terminal, and the city are just 13 kilometers away. I trust that my purpose is to create a consciousness community right here in Popayan. Will you find a way to join us in paradise on earth? I also consult by telephone and offer tools so that you can find your individual solution by making contact with your soul. Please share my videos so that this information can reach the individuals who need it. My contact details are in the description below, as well as the link to Cascada Café Retiro and my website. Finally, please subscribe to my BitChute channel. All my videos are not available on YouTube. Infinite love.